Today, I want to talk about hypocrisy. Being a hypocrite. Because I think being a hypocrite is not always malicious, or maybe like we're gonna discuss this. Um, Sometimes it's just a lack of self awareness or fear of being honest or trying to avoid conflict. And I want to talk about it openly because I see it in myself sometimes, or I saw it in myself more when I was younger. So yeah, in other people and just in life in general. Like how does it come up? The more something I noticed, the more someone understands themselves, the less they need to pretend. When you're already when you really attune to who you are, you don't need to put on a voice or an attitude just to be liked. You don't have to agree with every opinion in the room. You don't have to say yes when you mean no. It doesn't mean you never tell like small harmless, what they call it, like white lies. We all do. Everyone has said I love you, like I love you back, while thinking please never wear that again. And when I say it, it kind of mean like when you judge someone else, whatever appearance, like don't even do that, go there. But it was a bad example. But yeah, we all sometimes just, oh yeah, I like that too, but in reality you didn't. Like we all sometimes just agreeing with things that we maybe don't like or don't truly like, if that makes sense. But knowing yourself makes you more transparent, more straightforward, I think, more stable. It becomes easier to speak honestly instead of performing who you think you were supposed to be. Hypocrisy in friendship and social connections. It's a big one. Let's talk about relationships here. Especially I think friendships. Imagine you move to a new place or old friendship like ended, or you just feel alone and you want connection. You meet someone new, you're not sure if you really vibe with them, you're not sure yet, but you keep hanging out anyway. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you need time to see if a connection grows. But if you're only spending time with that person because you don't know, like you don't want to be alone, and you think you don't have like other options right now, that's not really honesty. That's convenience, and it goes both ways. Would you want to find out that someone stays close to you just because they have no other like options or no one else at that moment? Probably not. I know I wouldn't. Like it's not evil, but it's just not transparent. Sometimes we do things just to feel silence, like or loneliness, but it's good to recognize when that happens, or like when that's happening, instead of pretending it's something deeper. Another thing in the relationship is honesty with avoidance. For me personally, if something bothers me and I don't talk about it, it affects everything. And I don't mean like talk about it like immediately, but I need to talk about it, because I'll start acting weird without meaning to. I'll overthink. I will create distance, like shut down emotionally. Not because I want to. I know it's a psychological response, whatever, but because like I said, whatever, not whatever. Like I just don't want to go and explain it in a way like the therapist would, because I'm not. So yeah, it's not because I want to, but because unspoken things always find a way out. So I learned that communicating is not just about honesty, it's about protecting the relationship and making any relationship better. I believe you need to talk in the relationship. Everyone knows this by now. You need to communicate. You have to communicate. Like, it's a must. I cannot understand how a relationship can last or can be healthy or strong if you do not communicate. Another thing is hypocrisy in judgment and morality. Another place hypocrisy shows up in how fast we judge others. It's easy to say, she gossips too much, he never shows up on time, they're so dramatic, why do they keep repeating the same mistakes? But when we do similar things, we usually give ourselves excuses. Like, I was tired, I didn't mean it that way, I'm going through something, it just once, so it doesn't count. See the difference? Like, we are strict with others, we are very fast to point fingers and say, oh, see, like, she did that, or he did this, whatever. But when we do the same thing, we are less aware of that. We don't pay that much attention to what we do, to what we say, to how we act. But when someone does something, immediate response. We judge behavior in others, but justify it in ourselves. It's uncomfortable to admit, and I don't say so now we judge ourselves, but it's true that most people even don't realize it. It happens automatically, and I don't think it means we are terrible. It just means we are not always aware of our own behaviors, patterns, etc. Because self-awareness is work. It means catching yourself before you judge and asking, do I do this too? Even a little, even rarely. Not saying, maybe asking why this person did it first, and then just having a little bit more compassion and understanding why this person could do this or that. And let that person do whatever that person needs to do. She's that person maybe needs to make those mistakes to understand something or to learn something, if that makes sense. Of course you can have opinions, of course you need to have morals and understand what's wrong and right, and what's wrong and right for you, what's important for you, and something that the person can do that doesn't align with your morals at all. Of course you're gonna have a reaction, but not pointing but just don't point fingers immediately. Before that, with no emotions, just try to, or with emotions, but just try to ask a couple of questions. So just try to ask yourself to have more awareness around it. So yeah, moving to self-awareness, it equals accountability, not perfectionism, or not perfection. To me, being less hypocritical isn't about being perfect, it's about being aware. It understanding that, oh, sometimes maybe I gossip too, maybe it's less, but I still gossip sometimes. I judge sometimes. I also like to avoid discomfort. For example, when you acknowledge your own flaws, you stop placing yourself above others. You stop acting like your morals superior. You stop pretending you're immune to the same mistakes, and that creates humility. It makes you softer, more understanding, more human. Accountability doesn't punish you. It I think it frees you. to understand that you are also human and you also make mistakes. And it helps you like to stop seeing people as like objects. I don't know, like maybe it's another topic. Yeah, let's not go there. I think it's gonna be a completely another topic if I'm gonna start talking about that. But yeah, everyone was or is hypocritical sometimes. Everyone lies occasionally, judges occasionally, contradicts themselves occasionally. The difference is awareness. You can be the kind of person who notice when you sleep, who like not sleep but sleep. Oh my, I cannot pronounce it. It is whatever. Who reflects, who apologizes, who grows, or you can be the kind of person who avoids accountability and blames everyone else. You don't need to be perfect, to be honest. You just need to be like real with yourself. And what I mean real with yourself, what I learned also, I talk about hypocrisy, but what I learned is when you know yourself, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but when you know yourself, you are more honest, more frank with yourself, and you're more frank with others. Automatically. When the opposite happens, you tend to be more hypocritical. I don't know why I was thinking so long to say this. So yeah, if you relate to this, let me know. Let me know what you think about this topic. I think this conversation help to reflect a little bit. Maybe, I hope so. So yeah, take care of yourself. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.